Hey guys, Carter here with Patriot Training Center. Today I want to talk to you about the different sighting systems that you can use on your AR-15 or your rifle. So over here I have just the basic setup, which is iron sights. This one in specific is just, these are the Magpul backup sights. So you have your front and rear sight, and then you have your rear aperture. So you line up the front sight in this rear aperture, and that's how you sight the gun. With this one, I have a red dot. This is an aim point. This one is just a normal, just run-of-the-mill red dot. So you zero the red dot and put the dot on what you're aiming at. This one over here is a low power variable optic. So this is a scope that has a range of different powers that you can use. And this one has from a 1 to 6 power. So this is the Vortex Razor Gen 2. And then over here I have the EOTech with the 5X magnifier on the back. So let's talk about these and the different use cases for them and some of the benefits and cons to all of them. So let's start with the iron sights. So the iron sights are going to be your cheapest option for quality. You can get a quality set of iron sights for a decent price. And it's just your run-of-the-mill setup, very basic, very good to hone in your marksman or your fundamentals of marksmanship to make sure that you're there, because there's no room for error. You have to really understand the fundamentals, but you could do a lot of good work with iron sights. The cons are the front aperture a lot of times is really big, so it covers up a lot. You have to line up two things together instead of just one, like a red dot. So you're having to line up two things instead of one. So you could get a little bit more precise, sometimes quicker with the red dot. And yeah, this is kind of just, this is the older setup. Still relevant, you can use them if you want. You could do plenty of work with just irons, but I do think that there's better options in this day and age if you're willing to spend extra money to buy quality parts. So next we'll have the Aimpoint. This is just the Aimpoint Pro. This is just the normal red dot. You can adjust the settings on it to change your brightness. It does not have different reticles. It's just a single red dot. This thing is about $450 to $500 with the mount. So that's kind of about what I would spend on a red dot. Some of the Holosuns are pretty good too. So in that 300 to 500 range is where I would start if you're going to buy a red dot. Some of the cheaper options, we've seen that they don't hold zero very good, and sometimes you'll get washout because the lens doesn't have a good coating on it. So the Aimpoint is a really good option. Holosun's a really good option. This red dot really excels when you're talking about a lot of close quarter stuff. So if you don't plan on reaching out with a rifle, you're not gonna push it past longer distances. The red dot's gonna work just fine for you. If home defense or something, you live in an urban area where you're never gonna have to take longer shots, I would definitely recommend a red dot. It's really fast. You could still get pretty decently precise with it. You could do all the work that you need to in a close range. Even out to 100 yards, it's very, very, very accurate. Even past that, you can still make shots. It's just a little bit more difficult. So that brings me to the low power variable optic. So this is, like I said earlier, the Vortex Razor Gen 2. I love this. This is my personal setup right now. I love it because it gives you it's an extremely capable setup. So I can go down to 1 power and I can acquire the sighting system really fast, because especially on this one, the eye box is really good, so it's easy to acquire for me. So I have that 1 power, and I could shoot close quarter if I need to, but I also can dial it up all the way to 6 power and shoot out to 3 or 4 or 500 yards with this setup. So I can do everything from close quarter 7 yards all the way out to that mid-range stuff at 500 yards. So extremely capable. I love it. Some of the cons to it are they're expensive. Like this setup, to get a really quality low power variable optic, I'm going to recommend you spend at least $800 or so to get one that's going to be able to get one that's going to be able to handle the abuse and also be able to hold zero and stuff like that. So with some decent quality glass. So that's one of the cons, is they're more expensive. The other con is weight. They're a decent amount heavier. So luckily I have this on a PTC Armory rifle that we build, and so they're already pretty light. So adding this, it's really not that heavy because the rifle overall is light. But it is definitely heavier than, say, a red dot or obviously iron sights. So weight is definitely a factor. So if you're worried about that, maybe not the best option. But I think it's an extremely capable rifle. And if you're not worried about the weight as much, definitely a great option. This specific one, I also have the offset red dot. So I have an offset 45-degree offset with a Scalarworks sidekick mount. This one in specific, this is a Trijicon RMR. I don't necessarily think it's super necessary to have it. I've just kind of been testing it. You can run one without it just fine, but it helps sometimes for the super close stuff. I could take it or leave it, really. So that brings me to this setup. So this is actually Jeff, the director of Patriot Training Center. He is running this setup. So this is the EOTech. So it's got as you can see, it's got a red dot on front right here. And then on the back, it has a magnifier. What's cool about this setup is it kind of gives you the best of both worlds in between these two. So you've got your red dot for super fast acquisition, and then this LPVO to where you can push it out for distance. So this option is a little bit cheaper than this option. I think your total with the mount and everything on this specific setup, it was like $1,200. The cool thing about it is if you don't need the magnifier, you can get rid of it. So you can store it in your pocket. You could take this magnifier off, store it in your pocket, use it as a monocular if you need to get some magnification on stuff, and then you're really saving on weight with the rifle. But if you need it for those long shots, all you have to do is clip it back on, and then you could use that magnification. If you want to keep it on the rifle, but you don't want the magnification, it flips out of the way. So that's a super nice thing to be able to get that out of the way really quick if you need to just use the red dot. But if you need that magnification, it just flips over really quick and you can use it. So this is a really slick setup. I like it. The cons are, again, the price is a little bit more than, say, your just normal red dot or iron sights. So yeah, you're going to be in that $1,000 to $1,200 range. So if you don't have the money for that, then that's definitely a con. Another con is sometimes the EOTechs bloom really bad depending on your eyes. Specific optic, sometimes the holographic reticle in it, a lot of people have a hard time seeing it, or it's not super crisp. So if your eyes don't play well with that optic, that could be a con. So that's gonna be across the board for red dots though. Different red dots are gonna react differently in how people see them. So some people will like other red dots better than others. So this is something to consider. Overall, these are all really good setups, and they all have their own strengths. It just goes down to what you're going to use it for, and none of it is going to matter if the person behind the rifle can't use it. So training is extremely important. Speaking of training, we have a 30-day dry fire program in the description below. Go check that out. It's 100% free. We'll catch you guys in the next one.